So Tech Tuesday ran a little late. We had a long weekend at Sand Sports, so I apologize that we didn't get it done. A lot went on at Sand Sports. We had an awesome week introducing all our new cars. And I'm going to take the time to really go through each car, so later we can put a second video up for each individual car. But tonight I'm going to walk you through the new 72 car. That way you can post questions about it. The kids car, we learned some stuff from people asking questions at the show. Go through the production race car, the rock car, the sand car, the enclosed cab, and then finally the V8 car. Going through everything we have introduced in 2026, and then also going through the KWI package and the hot weather package for our customers that are ordering cars or people that want a retro. So I'm going to walk over to the rock car first, and we're going to talk about what's been done to this car. So on all these cars, the livery, the graphics that's on the car, that's what comes. These aren't cars that you can actually change the graphics on. So when you order the Rock Edition, that's actually what you're gonna get. And the thing about the Rock Edition and all our cars in 2026, and even starting cars now in 2025, it's the first time you can actually upgrade your 32s to 35s. So if you have a car on order with us, for $1,200, you can actually upgrade to 35s, where before you actually had to buy a whole set of 35s, leave with it and mount it. So give you a heads up, this car does come standard on 35s in a rock tire. Our goal is to give you something that you can go rock crawling with, go desert trail, but this is, granted, it's still built on an El Diablo, but the goal is to have it more set up for rock crawling. So we put a lower gear set in it, so you'll have better low gearing, people that ask for that. We put electric over hydraulic, so when you get in those weird binding things rock crawling, that the steering doesn't rip your hands off from landing wrong in the rocks or twisting the steering. We did a full UMHW skid plate that we have available on all our other cars. Car comes standard with window nets, front bumper, and a new 6,000-pound winch. So everything else about this car is no different than any other El Diablo. All the horsepower, you can still get a speed key, you can still add all our lights, but as it comes, and these are all up on Speed UTV. You can go look at the pricing, the MSRP, all the details on the car. Just go to reserve and you can find anything about it. So that's the Rock. And please post any questions if you have any. So next is the production race car. And we've already had questions about this. I'm just going to open this up. It makes it a little easier to show. So the first question people ask us is, I have an El Diablo, can I get the doors and the doors and the bars? We are working on that. These doors for the show were 3D printed. They'll actually be carbon fiber replacement doors. And the intrusion bars, the top and the triangle intrusion, we hope to have a set available. So when we finally get it available, we'll let people know it'll be released. But this car comes ready to go to the starting line. Fuel cell, proper cage, intrusion bars, all your proper safety, intercom radio, GPS. It comes on 35s standard. I'll leave this open just for pictures. It comes on 35s. It comes with our bigger brake kit. This is something we released at the show. It's actually a billet brake kit now. We can talk more about that. We're just getting it launched, so I'll share more about what that kit is maybe next week. We'll do a whole thing on the new brake kit. It comes with KWI standard. So this is the new KWI air guide system and clutching. And what's been different, I don't know if you noticed, but this is the new air tube that goes down to the secondary, and up close you won't be able to see it that good, but there's another air tube that comes from the passenger number plate and goes to the primary. And over here, I'll let you Mike swing around, but this is how we exit. So this is our exit now. It's about 6 inches by 4 inches, and that is where all the air exits it. And to do that, we had to build a new truss to hold the motor to French in the exit of the CVT. This car also comes with a spare 35 rear chase bar. And for all of you that were interested in how much bigger the new hot weather package is, this is how much bigger fans. The intercooler and radiator now run the distance of the car. So your intercooler is almost 6 times probably bigger than the stock one. It is only air to air. This is the bigger radiator package. New fan shroud. Again, this was 3D printed for the show, but the new packages will have the exact same look, fit, and finish. Frenched into all the bars. If you come on this side, what we did to show you, for a lot of our customers, they might think, hey, I might not go racing. I just want these doors and I want more protection in my car. We make this so these upper bars come out. They bolt in with just normal cage bungs. So that allows it. But otherwise, a car is fairly standard. It comes with your pumper, your fresh air system, Garmin GPS, all your proper lighting. Nothing on this car isn't here for you to go racing. There are things you might change or want to add. If you're gonna run a bigger seat or a seat cushion, if you wanna put visors on your car for sun glare, there's all those extra things, but our goal was for you to buy a car and go to the starting line and do nothing else. This car is $99,000 retail. As race cars go, that's probably the cheapest race car I think anybody's gonna find in a UTV space. And we hope we get to go see racing. Next car is a sand car. I'll introduce the sand car to you. Our goal, again, once we got the ability to sell different wheels and tires, we want to build a car, and you can still get our 32s or 35s with this car, but this car with this graphic is our sand edition. And we thought about the people in the sand dunes and what they would want. So it has rock lights, so when you're sitting on the hill, so all the wheels light up. Comes with our 35-inch paddles, 10-inch wheels on all four corners. All the lighting, upper for night riding, upper light, side mirror lights, and bumper lights. It'll come with both your whips. Again, this car, you can now configure this car with KWI, but as a 2026, it's gonna come standard with the air guide. With tap, but you'll be able to upgrade to KWI. And again, hot weather, you'll be able to upgrade to hot weather. It also comes with a rear chase bar. Again, all the stats and configurations on this car are online, and it can run a speed key. And this year, if you look at our RG line, Sandcar's not an RG line, these are all one-off cars, but RGs come standard with a speed key in 2026. So our way to be able to advertise that we're the highest horsepower car on the market at 300 horsepower with a speed key. If you order an RG, that comes standard. Also, this comes with window nuts, I forgot to mention that. Before we get to the Garmin car, I want to talk about the 72 car. This car, the biggest thing about this car is that customers with trail restrictions. I had so many comments on the internet, why do I need a 72? Why do I need a 72? It's only because of you have a limitation of where you're riding. If you're riding tight trails or you're riding in areas where they limit the width of the car, we have come out with 72. You can order any of our models 72 wide. So any Bandit, El Jefe, or El Diablo all come 72 wide. Price isn't any different. We just need to know which model you want to order. And then you can configure it as is. But you can build your own graphics. It's just a distinction between 72 and 77. Next car. This is the enclosed cab. We still are doing some final finish on it. We actually listened to our customers for their feedback at the show. Some people had, can you make the back narrower? Can you make the seat higher? All these little things will go into it once we put people in it. We learned when we launched our car last time that Rob and I had no issues with our cars. But after shipping thousands of cars and getting the feedback from customers who needed us to modify steering, or what we did with clutching to get clutches to perform differently, or add oil coolers or so forth. So if you look at this car, because it's enclosed, and we tell everybody with windshields to run our front mount oil cooler because you have to when we can't get air in the back, all our cooling's up front on this car. So the only way when you're fully enclosed, and if you ever looked at Rob's trophy truck, all his radiators are up front. So now we've put your radiator in the front grille. You won't have any water temp issues, no oil temp issues. It's all up front now. And then our intercooler is hidden in our roof. So there'll be a roof scoop on it, and you'll have your intercooler, and then your tubes come right down your B-pillar. So it's already built in, it's not up there yet, but you'll eventually, your intercooler will be just right above, Frenched into your roof. So that's how we put a hot weather package on an enclosed cab. Otherwise, it's the same car. This is an El Diablo with a little bit longer nose on it to be able to mount a radiator. We put on sand tires because with the sand show, but it comes on 35s. It will come with big brake kit on it. And this car will be to customer starting in June. We'll go back and finish our HVAC on it. It'll actually have suede leather interior inside. It will look like a luxury pre-runner. It'll have windshield wipers. And I think the carbon body we announced is 120,000. So that's our enclosed cab edition. You can look a little back. We're going to play a little bit more of the fender lines, make the car a little bit narrower. Our biggest issue is the car is 77 wide, and we have to be very conscious of tires. The last thing we want to do is have a tire take off a fender, and we wanted it to look like a truck. So we have to keep the fender over the wheel. And as you can tell, just with paddles, we're too wide with the fenders. The paddles are wider than the fenders. So we're going to work on cleaning up a little bit of the lines. It will be at Off-Road Expo in 2 weeks. We're going to have all these cars back out there just so people can see them. And then from here, we'll go back, finish this up, and go into production. So, but thanks for taking a peek at that. That was a hit at the show. And then the biggest hit at the show, the V8 car. And instead of really telling you what this is, I'm going to tell you what people thought it was. It was amazing listening to the people talk about our car. So the first thing I want you to do is Mike, if you don't mind just zooming in on this bulkhead and all the arms. And then we're gonna just go look at another car in the office. You know, Rob gets a lot of grief, or our industry gets a lot of grief on our ideas, where they come from, you know, who copied who, what products what. But you know, we're all innovators, and innovation comes from other people's ideas. So if you look at this coming forward, now come over here, Mike, and look at it from the back. And if you look at this and pretend this is the rear of a car, I'm going to walk you over to the Indy car. And you know, Mike, the other Indy car, the whole body's off. So in an Indy car, and this Indy car is 15 or so years old, the back of the car, the engine and transmission are what's tied to the chassis. There's no chassis back here. And if you look at this is our bulkhead, which would be our diff, and these are our forward A-arms, and this would be the forward part of our car. This is already what's on every single car we make as a speed UTV. It's the same technology that we put into that car, but we didn't steal the idea from IndyCar. It's been out, and we've just taken it from a car that was driving a car forward to putting on the front. So if this was the driver's seat, this would be the front of a speed UTV. We attach the suspension to the diff, not to a chassis. That's how we get such long A-arms. That's how we get all the travel. The wider you can make your A-arm, the longer you can make your axle, the less CV angle you have, the more travel you get. So our ideas come from everywhere. So now I'm going to show you the new idea on this car, the tri-drive. We've been innovators forever. There's the Gordini that went to the car back in the day. Yeah, I'll just show it to you if you look from here. Now what we've done different here is the front of this car has portals. To get over 26 inches of front wheel travel using CVs, you actually have to have portals to get rid of the CV angle. So this is a portal in the front, and we have now portals in the back. And what's been so controversial, is this on the side too, Mike? Yeah. So this is built on an El Diablo chassis. All the body works, everything fits. But that's the tri-drive. This is something that actually started, that's an Albin's ST6 in here. So this part right here is just an Albin's ST6. And this front drive, if you have a four-wheel drive right now with an Albin's in it, that's what you get. And what we thought about back then is, well, if we can actually have two more drives, we can have a tri-drive, and we'll drive drive shafts down a trailing arm. Right? That was the idea. Sat there with Rob over the last, 10 years or more, talking about how we can get the idea of a trailing arm car to have travel of a trophy truck. Right? So trophy truck, because it uses a drive shaft and universals, Some trucks have anywhere between 26 and 32 inches of rear wheel travel. That's what makes them go so fast in the bumps, right? A buggy, if we're lucky, has 22 inches of travel because it's a transaxle, we deal with CVs. So the goal here was, and come around here, Mike, how do I implement both ideas? And if you stand way back, it looks really good, and I'll stand in front of it. But how do I get a transaxle without CVs going to a transaxle? How do I get travel out of like a trophy truck without having a rear diff and a housing? Because when you have a rear pumpkin in the middle, I have one drive shaft taking 1,500 horsepower to maybe a 10-inch rear end, and that pumpkin sits here. So even though I'm rolling on 40s, that pumpkin might only have 12 inches of ground clearance, maybe 15 if we're lucky, because the 40, just cut it in half, the pumpkin's gonna be somewhere middle or below. So we no longer have a pumpkin, we no longer have a straight axle, and all we have is a trailing arm. And yeah, people are gonna say the trailing arm hits the turbo. I read that everywhere. It's pretty obvious that we wouldn't engineer an arm to hit a turbo, but Mike Porter from Redline said, I have this gorgeous motor, let's put it in the car, and these cars will have 1,700 plus horsepower, but all this is a header. This will all be changed to make sure we can make it incorporate. There's plenty of room in this car. But have a drive shaft. So now I'm back to a drive shaft that has unlimited angle because of the universal, like the universal's up there. So in drive shafts have plunge, just like your current drive shaft, and it drives a ring gear. So from that ring gear, I have two now, so I can split my horsepower. And then it goes to a portal. And that portal is how I can get this car to have this much ground clearance and actually use the gears to help me with the power of the car. Also now, I have north of 30, I think Robbie said 34 inches of rear wheel travel. Well, when we have that much travel, we can articulate the car where a normal truck can't articulate like this. And always will get hung up. So for rock crawling, we have the ability now to go over stuff that before we'd always get the rear end hung up on. We have more travel than any car in the front. We have more travel than any car in the back. The thing that's really interesting, as much as we're gonna go race Ultra 4 with this is the same wheelbase as an all-wheel drive trophy truck. And it's still a mid-engine car. So our goal is to race this either with a hood and trophy truck or race it in Class 1. And race it, since we can qualify in Class 1, and race it whatever position we have. We made the cage so we're legal in all the classes from Ultra 4 to Score. So we, instead of using the normal 1 3/4 cage that's on our standard UTV race car, we changed the cage, we changed the shock towers. But I saw another comment on the internet, these are the shock towers we had to build for it, that does it need two shocks on every corner? And they said, well, maybe because of the weight. Well, this car is gonna be the lightest car in either Class 1 or trophy truck class. It's for four-wheel drive. I think a new race truck's north of 7,000 pounds, 6,500 pounds. We're hoping to get this car in under 5,500 pounds. But the wheelbase, it's 90 inches wide and about 122 inch long. So that's a trophy truck today. The other thing, a spring is what carries the weight of a shock, weight of a car, not a shock. So our internal bypass shocks we've been running on on all our UTVs that everyone swears are the best. You get to ride in our car, people are blown away how well the cars work. But these are the same shocks that are come on Rob's trophy truck, both front and rear. And we've been holding up that truck with a spring. So you don't need two shocks in every corner. If one of them's only a coil and the one of them is a bypass, we save a ton of weight by doing an internal bypass coilover. That's what we have here, the same thing that's on the Speed UTV. So give this a couple months, it will be testing in the dirt, and it will make its debut for racing at KOH. And we sold a couple rollers to some guys over in Australia. I love not having to actually do all the plumbing and wire on these cars. This car starts at 800K. I think the rollers we did at 500 for the show. But people ask, how come things are so expensive? So I just wanted to break down a couple things. I don't know if anyone knows what a 40-inch wheel and tire costs today, but a tire alone from BF Goodrich, Toyo, is about $1,200. Add a $800 Ford rim, you're at $2,000 a corner just in wheel and tire. If you try to order a trophy truck package from King or Fox right now, you're gonna be close to $35,000, $40,000 just for the shocks, okay? Go add an engine. I don't care if it's Roush Yates, if it's a Dugan's, if it's my buddy Josh Daniels at Donzio. Get one of their big blocks. They're $80,000+ motors, upwards of 100,000. So throw a motor package in. Go buy an Albans ST6 with a torque converter and a clutch. Forget the tri-drive. That's another 80,000 bucks. These aren't anything from speed yet. This is just what stuff costs to attach to a car. Go add a tri-drive with 2 wet clutches to it, right? Call that another 30 G's. Then let's talk about the trailing arms. They're all billet 70-75 machine trailing arms. You can just start doing some quick math. Go look at what just a rear lower link for a trailing arm on a trophy truck is. Just the link, you're about $12,000-$13,000 for 2. That's way more than a link. Then it's tied to a portal. A portal on average is $12,000 a corner, if not more. And then tie it to a ring gear. A good ring gear, a 10-inch ring gear, you're gonna spend another maybe $7,500 a ring gear, and that's if you're lucky. And forget the housing, it has to be welded to put it in. So at the end of the day, you can start spending almost $30,000 a corner on this car, and you don't have a chassis yet. And then wire it. Luckily for us, the wiring of this car, because it uses all our body, and you don't need to order a body, the chassis harness we get to use from the El Diablo. So all your lights, all your fans, all your electronics, your dash, all we get to do, excuse me, all we're building is a wiring harness for the engine. The rest of this stays true. And yes, this will have proper intrusion doors and everything, but for the show to let people see it, we wanted to do that. But very neat. And then go get a billet front bulkhead. What's a front diff in a trophy truck cost these days, right? So you still have to have a front diff. Some people have to have a transfer case. All these things matter. Then all billet control arms up front. That's why these cars are $800K starting price. It's not for everybody. It's a halo car for our brand. It's something we just said, me, Max, and Rob want to have the ultimate car. We have the ability to design and come up with that stuff. Or I'm going to say Rob has the ability to design and come up with that stuff. And our goal is to, once again, pioneer new ideas, participate in the ultimate racing scenarios with our cars, and try to let this eventually trickle down to what we build. If we don't start here, the reason we started with a 4-seater when we did our Speed UTV is because everything else would get smaller. We wouldn't have a car that was too big. When we start with the V8 car, eventually if we want to build a V8 El Diablo, we've learned from it. If we want to take our portal tri-drive idea, we later learn from this, understand how it works and performs, and dumb it down and put it into our cars, right? The reason we're building enclosed cabs is because we're going to get in the automotive business one of these days, build SUVs and trucks and Suburbans, and as we progress, all this technology that we're building comes across. So last car, the kids' car, comes in 3 different colors. This is the Bandito, little baby car. We didn't have to do a lot here. Our partner in manufacturing has helped us with this car. We were able to redesign a bunch of stuff from the wheels, tires, cages, window nets, seating, steering wheels, winches. We brought a lot of the stuff over. But it's a great little car to get people who believe in speed, want their kids to have something for $6,900. Your kids can go out and play. We're working on geofencing so you can limit where they get to go play. And it's a great learning car. We have it in 2 cage heights. I think I've talked about that before. I'm not gonna let you walk around the front on it too. We just wanted to have something that as our family of customers grow, that they can also enjoy it with their kids. And that's what we did with the kids' car. So a nice entry level, nice Christmas present. They're in stock. Actually, we have cars in stock for customers. The 2026 cars aren't for sale yet. But we have a couple customers that have to sell their cars for whatever reason. Those cars are on property. If you haven't seen or received an email from a customer, all customer cars are done, waiting on you to make arrangements to pick up your car. We still ship a couple hundred cars each month. I don't know, last maybe 150 cars. Have a lot still to go, but we've notified everybody, gave them the opportunity to, if you haven't received your car, to update to hot weather and to KWI. That's still an option since it hasn't left. And we look forward to seeing you guys out. We got a lot of things coming up. We have Off-Road Expo, then we have UTV Takeover, we have Rage at the River. Max is gonna be racing Glen Helen this weekend. Baja 1000 pre-run with us. Then the Baja 1000, you have speed owner's ride from Havasu to Laughlin. If you haven't signed up for that, that's there. And then we have we have New Year's and the holidays. So the next 3-4 months is gonna be crazy. I hope to see everybody in the dunes, and I hope you get to enjoy your car. Thank you very much.